Oh, I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me. Hey, kisses. Save all your kisses for me. Save all your kisses for me. Down, baby, down. Oh, wait. Who sang that song? I remember. Save all your kisses for me. Save all your kisses for me. Yeah, all right, shut up, Steve. I thought I'd do a little morning chat before I go to bed. I'm actually drinking some Cadbury's drinking chocolate tonight. So I thought I'd do a little topic on some of the most haunted locations that I think are haunted and where I've got pretty decent paranormal activity. I won't actually go into more kind of outside kind of investigations because that's what I'm doing tonight. Actually, I will probably do a residential one maybe during the week if I feel like it, but I still will try and do a stream on Tuesday. I'm going to drag some dolls in here. What day is Tuesday? I don't even know what bloody day it is Tuesday. '30th. Yeah, 30th. Right, hello, Dark Magician. Hello, everyone who's watching. So, yeah, I thought I'd just do a little stream tonight. It won't be too long. Just telling you some of the most haunted locations that I've been to, even though I didn't think they was haunted. Where's my camera? So, starting off with the one furthest away, the furthest way, Amy Woods. I've actually been down there twice, 2 different occasions with the Paranormal Man in the past. I'd like to go down there again with Aaron. We was going to plan to go down there, but Aaron's been too ill or too busy doing all kind of stuff, you know. But the first time we went down there, we did get kind of lost. We didn't know where Puckley Screaming Woods was. That sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? We didn't know where Screaming Woods was. Yeah. I'm in a bit of problem with my fucking concentration and talking again today by the sound of things. So Puckley Screaming Woods. We went down there. We got lost. We ended up going across 3 actual farming fields, actually, thinking that may have led into the woods, but it didn't. It led to a dead end where we ended up on the railway line. So we had to come back all across the 3 actual fields. And I kind of like walked a bit further in front. So I wanted to try some of these stories you've probably heard of already, but you know, what's the harm in telling them again? But don't forget Rose is streaming, by the way. I'm not doing this because Rose is streaming, like, you know, we're had an agreement that, you know, doesn't matter who's streaming, you know, just keep an eye on each other's channel. But we got lost over there. We're coming back to the car, and I had my I think I had my Nokia E5 at the time, and I just decided to do an EVP. And I said, right, if any spirits are around us, can you tell us where we are? Because we're lost. So if anyone can come through and let us know where we are, I'll be very grateful. And on the reply, and I swear everything I'm telling you is truthful, yeah? On the reply, I got an EVP saying, it was like a male voice just going, Parkley, in that kind of tone of voice. I was fucking like kind of astonished just to hear that, you know. You know, I didn't even believe my own ears, so I had to play it again, you know. And the actual reply was a male going, Parkley, in that kind of tone. So I called Peter over and I told him and showed him, well, played in what I actually caught. And he was kind of like, I suppose, astonished. So we actually ended up getting back to the car, and we thought, like, we didn't want to waste our time coming down here and not getting to Puckley Woods. So we went to the village, and we was hoping that there might be a map there, and we actually did find a map, and it gave us the directions. We actually should have went to the village beforehand, kind of thing, and looked for the map before, but we didn't think about that. But when we got back to the village, we did find a map, and it showed us where the woods were. So we got in the car again and drove down this long country lane kind of thing, and we ended up finding the woods. We parked up, and we got out, and we was just walking around, doing some ghost boxing, EVPs, and we had like one or two of the devices like K2 meter, and things like that. We had a few little flickers on the K2 meter, but nothing really amazing. I think we actually had the Ghost Meter Pro with us as well when we asked them the questions, and we did get some replies on that. The Ghost Meter Pro is like an EMF device. We got 4 modes, and mode 4 is where you can ask apparently up to 8 questions, and the way the spirit would answer is for the meter to flash 1 for yes, 2 for no. Very rarely we had like a 3 or 4 kind of like reaction. We always thought like 3 was like as if they didn't understand the question or something, kind of continue going off. It was either 1 flash or 2 flash. We've done that. We got a few questions. We got a few like responses. Then it started raining. We thought, crap, we can't be hanging around here in the rain. So we decided to leave. I can't remember how much longer it was. I think it's about 6 months later we went back down there. And this time we knew where the actual Screaming Woods were. Now, the thing is, Screaming Woods is apparently meant to be known as, you hear screams in the late night kind of thing, Well, when we got down the second time, we heard screams, okay, yeah. But not the ghostly kind of screams that you thought we would hear. No. It wasn't like that. We heard physical female screaming, whether it's being chased by their fiancés, boyfriends, husbands, whatever, kind of thing. That's the honest kind of screams we did hear. Screams from, people being chased around. Go away. Ow. No, bloody clip my neck. Go away, you York. It's been a pain in the arse today. So we did hear some screams, but kind of screams, we did use the Ghost Meter Pro again, and we did get some responses on that. I think the best bit of evidence that we did get was I was using my camera, and everyone was kind of like behind me, doing their kind of stuff. But I was a bit further on, and they told me that they heard something rustling in the trees or bushes beside him. Yeah, so I kind of looked around to see what they was doing, and I had my camera just panning around, just slowly. And when I brought it around that way, as I was coming back, I didn't know until we actually reviewed the video, I'd actually caught something there. And what it looked like a childlike figure wearing a hooded cloak. And you didn't see it come from a tree and go past the tree and walk through. It actually came from behind a tree, and then it just moved, and it looked like it was going to another tree, but it didn't actually go round or past the tree. It kind of just like disappeared. So in other words, say that's the tree there, it came out and moved along and suddenly just disappeared, which is kind of crazy really, because we didn't think we'd get anything, but we actually did. So would I say Screaming Woods is haunted? In my views, yes, I would say it's haunted, because what the hell we caught there, I do not know. I can't say Screaming Woods can live up to its name. Screaming is like spiritually haunted, ghostly kind of screams. because the only screens we got to hear were people being chased around, and you know that kind of it kind of like ruined it in one way. And would you believe it started raining again? The second time we went there, it started raining again. So we ended up like only being there about an hour or so. But yeah, I reckon Puckley Woods is haunted, but the screams you can easily, you know, I would tell you one thing yet, never go down there on a weekend, you know, from Friday night, Saturday and Sunday, because, you know, it is near a local pub, for one thing, yeah. And two, you know, you're going to get drunks chasing their girlfriends, you know, through the woods and, you know, being bloody dickheads and idiots and whatever name you want to call them. Now, I think if you ever went down there, the best time to go down there would be like from Tuesday to Thursday, because that way you ain't got really many people, you know, hitting the pub and going out and getting totally obliterated out of their mind, you know, through drugs and alcohol and, you know, just being general idiots, really. So if you ever going to go down there, which I think would be worth you, you know, just you know, take a chance going down there, because I'm pretty sure that, you know, you would get some kind of activity, whether it be a K2 meter or mel meter here. You know, we did actually catch a few orbs on camera as well, which was kind of good. We even, if I remember rightly, thought we saw like a mist actually go past us, which was kind of crazy. The apparition, which I caught, looked like child size, like I did catch on camera, and it is on my YouTube channel. You just have to look for Puckley Village, and you should be able to find it. So hello everyone. Sorry I've not said everyone's name, but hello everyone. I would like to go there again, Puckley Village, Puckley Woods. Me and Aaron did talk about it last year or early this year, and there's a few locations that are supposed to be very haunted down there. You got one of the actual pubs, which is more like also classed as a bed and breakfast, and then whatever you want to call it, is haunted. You got the haunted graveyard. You got the haunted railway station. Cut the Farms supposed to be haunted down there. You got an old kind of industrial building, which is like completely empty. It's just like, you know, the remains of the building itself. Can't remember if there's a roof on it or not actually, but that's supposed to be very haunted. And then Puckley Woods as well. But I was surprised, you know, the first time we went down there, we actually did get an EVP, you know, when I asked, where are we? You know, we seem to be lost, and we got that voice just coming through going, Puckley, in that kind of tone. That was amazing. So, you know, even if I hadn't caught that apparition of that child, you know, that would have still been, you know, amazing, to be honest with you. But getting that little childlike figure was even more amazing. And, you know, it is on my YouTube. So, you know, if you think I'm lying, just go and look at my YouTube channel, you know, because everything I'm going to tell you is true. It's happened. Now, the other place we've been to is Jordan's Wood. Now, that is one of the biggest kind of like woodland in Dartford, between Dartford and Bexley. And near Swanley, so it's more in between Dartford, Swanley, and Bexley. Now, I never thought we was ever going to get anything down there. You know, I just had a gut feeling to go down there with my two nephews, Aaron and Warren, and I think we had about 2 cameras running at the time. We had like a K2 meter. I think we took the REM pod with us. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember if we took the REM pod or not. But we did some EVPs. We took cameras with us, like normal photography cameras. And you know, that was blinding, Dan. I'll tell you, man, if you've never been to Jordan's Wood and you live in Kent, you've got to go to Jordan's Wood. I'll tell you, man. Because when we went down there, you know, like, I didn't think we caught anything. You know, we had a couple of K2s and stuff like that, and, you know, the odd EVP, but I didn't watch the video for at least 2 months. But something kept, like, telling me, you know, a little voice saying, like, that kind of thing saying, watch the video, watch the video, watch the video. And I don't really review my videos that much. I just like let the viewers watch it and see if they can pick anything out. But something kept telling me, you know, watch the video, watch the video. So I sat there, and the video was about 2 hours long or something, yeah. And I think it's within the first 30 minutes, I noticed something on the video. And again, it's where I'm just panning the camera around slowly. And I'm using this a Sony Handycam, so they're not that brilliant cameras to capture things, but this actually caught it. And even the Jordan's Wood ones are on there. And what I noticed was like a figure moving near the tree. Now we'd already like caught an EVP, and we was also getting like K2 meters. But what I saw was like fucking amazing. It looked like a hooded person, possibly like it could have been a monk or one of the old kind of like fashion olden day people who used to walk around with hoods, you know, kind of thing. I can't remember what type of people they were, but you know, it was kind of crazy because I saw it and I thought, whoa, you know, that, you know, was I just playing tricks on the video? And I had to play it back several times, and when I saw it, I had to like get that video and download it, and then like find out exactly where it was and post a clip up. Now I thought that was it. That was the only one. But a few days later, well, I think it's about a week or two later, I had that bloody voice in my head again saying, "Watch the video, you missed something. Watch the video, you missed something." Now I thought, you know, seeing one apparition in that one video was amazing as well, you know, as it was. But where we caught that first apparition of that hooded kind of person, about between 5 or 6 minutes later, there was another apparition that we caught, and this was on the same camera. And you know what? You know, it was kind of like mind blowing. Though it was crazy because we hadn't probably moved more than like 100 yards, 200 yards, you know, within 5 or 6 minutes because we was just taking our time, and we actually did capture a second apparition on that same night, which was crazy, you know. And as I say, all these are on my YouTube channel, so you know I'm not lying or anything like that. They are there. So right, you know, 2 apparitions in one night. It's fucking crazy, you know. Oh yeah, you know, that's mind blowing. I think the second one might have been the little stocky guy that was like coming out from behind a tree, looking, and then like backing away behind a tree and disappearing again. That was like crazy, man. You know, yeah, that is it. Like, because we had the first one was the hooded person, then the second one was like a little. He looked like a little hunchback kind of fella, you know. The top of his head looked all kind of like white, probably like some kind of weird hat he was wearing or something. But he kind of like comes out from a tree, he looks around, then he backs away around the tree and disappears. Oh, fuck, you know, that's crazy, man. Fucking crazy. So, you know, after doing that, we went down to Bexley Hospital. Now, Bexley Hospital is interesting because, well, actually, Jordan's Wood, right? Jordan's Wood, as I say, is a big, like, wooded area here. And, oh, yeah, good night, Mary, if you're still there. Me and my mate David used to hang around up there, you know, and, like, you know, we was, like, fucking kids, you know, 8, 10, 12 years old, you know, kind of thing. We played up there quite a lot, you know. We always used to go up there, make little camps, you know, just be like boys with boys, you know, kind of thing. So we used to play around up there quite a bit, actually, when we were younger. Now, Bexley Hospital isn't far away from Jordan's Wood. if you come out of Jordan's Wood and walk down this long road, it's probably about a quarter mile, no more than a quarter, half mile. You're at the end at the back of the long fencing at the Bexley Hospital. Now, Bexley Hospital was an asylum, a mental institution, and I actually did do voluntary work in there one time, but I got beaten up by a blind woman with a walking stick because although she was blind and I was supposed to feed her, and I said, "You ain't got a dog here. There ain't no dog here." And that's when she like let loose on me and started beating me with a stick, and I kind of like called out for help, and a nurse came along. She goes, "You shouldn't have done that, you know. Should have just carried on making happy things. She had a dog you've upset her now." So like, you know, I didn't go back to that wall, you know. But Bexley Hospital was an asylum, very big asylum at one time, and a lot of patients did escape, you know, because every time the patient escaped, you would hear the siren. Now, one siren, safely, and then like if you got two sirens going off, then it meant like they found the patient and he's been brought back in. It's just more like a warning kind of thing, because like some of these patients were very dangerous, you know. But I got to know quite a few of the patients. I had a part-time job down the road from the hospital in this like news agents. I used to like do paper delivery. Sometimes I left to hold the fort while the manager went out and done, you know, one or two chores. And we were allowed to sell the cigarettes to patients as singles. Cause like, no, in them days, you know, cigarettes used to be really cheap, but because the patients never had enough money, like, you know, they might have only had enough for one or two cigarettes. We were allowed to open the packet and sell the cigarettes separately to them for like 5p each or something, you know. And I did get to know, you know, a few of the patients. They were quite nice patients, actually. Some of them, I didn't even believe that they was like mentally insane, but they were. You just had to treat them, I suppose, with like kindness and respect, and you'll be okay. But the asylum did actually eventually get knocked down, and a housing estate was built on top of it. Now, where the hospital was, you've got like several fields at the back as well, and they actually, you know, kind of led straight on. You could, you know, come out of the hospital and walk on the fields, you know, no problem whatsoever. The one right at the end was a football pitch, which they actually council actually made into, and I think the football pitch is still there actually to this day. The hospital, I can't remember when it got shut down. I think it got shut down, you know, about 25 years ago. Might be a bit longer, I'm not sure, but you know, it always seemed to be a bit creepy going through that hospital, you know, at night time. Even when I want work, you know, when I stopped doing voluntary work and I was working, you know, in Dartford, I had to get a bus from Dartford, and I had a choice of getting one bus would stop outside the hospital, or the other one would come up till Tarkhill Lane, going up towards Swanley. And I had to get off of Tarkhill Lane. Now, Tarkhill Lane was bloody dark and creepy at night, so I tell you. Sometimes I ran up there because it's so fucking spooky at night. No, even when the wind's blowing the trees and like, you know, you're hearing like the bushes rattling and, you know, like twigs snapping. I tell you, it was fucking freaky. I rather came through the hospital and jumped over the hospital fence, because sometimes there's a hole in the fence and you can get through that way. But they kept kind of replacing the fence, right? And the fence used to be like 10 to 12 feet tall, and you had to like climb up this like metal kind of like frame thing and jump over. But when they actually knocked down the hospital, they put a housing estate on there. Now, my niece Laura actually went and lived in one of those houses And I went and visited her, and I asked her if she felt anything in there. You know, I wasn't even in the paranormal at the time. You know, I just said to my niece, "Hey, have you got any ghosts in there?" She goes, "Oh, don't you say that, you know. Oh, I don't like anything like that. Don't you fucking try scaring me." And I said, "Well, have you had any patients knocking on the door?" She goes, "Oh, shut up, well, you can go out, you know, you can bugger off home." And like, where my niece used to live, it'd probably be about a 15-minute walk to where my sister lived. Because where I used to live on Hanby Walk, when I left and got married, my mum still had the place for a certain time, but then my mum moved out and my sister took over the house for a little while. And then, like, my sister wanted to exchange to another location. So our house got actually, like, handed over to some other people, like some strangers. The council did actually offer my mum to buy it at one time for, like, 15 grand, I think it was. I'll tell you, if I had the money, I would have bought it, because those houses eventually went for, I think the last one that I know of, about 15 years ago, went for like 230 grand. Big fucking, you know, like 100% profit, you know, kind of thing. And we could have had that house at 15 grand when I, you know, because we'd lived there probably about 12, 14 years. So we would have had a very good deal on it, but never kind of like fell through for me, actually, because I never had the money. What money I had to like use that, to, you know, towards my wedding. But used to live in Dartford. After moving out, she got estranged over at Dartford, and then so many years later, she transferred over back to Jordan's Wood. Because I've got two sisters who live in Jordan's Wood now, Sandra and Denise. Wendy lives up near, I think, Sidcup area, which isn't too far, probably about half hour in the car, if that, depending on traffic. Now, although the hospital had been knocked down, the fields are still there. And after we did the Jordan's Wood session that time, I said to my nephews, let's go and do a little session over at Jordan's Wood and see if we get anything down there. Well, I mean, Bexley Hospital, after we'd done Jordan's Wood, see if we get anything down there. And no, I didn't think we'd get anything, actually, to be honest with you. But, you know, when we got on the field, the temperature really started plummeting. You know, because you had me on the millimeter and was keeping an eye on the millimeter. Let's say it was like 70 degrees, yeah, or 70 Celsius. It plummeted down to like 40 within like less than 5 minutes. That's how cold it got. You could actually feel the coldness. You could see the cold air coming out your mouth, you know, that cold steam. You know, it's crazy down there. So whatever made that temperature drop that quick, I think it only could be spiritual, because, like, you know, we was getting hits on the millimeter, we was getting hits on the K2 meters. We had the with the REM pod down there. We was getting hits on the REM pod. You know, we was getting a load of good stuff. You know, we had EVPs. We were getting all activity. We was getting like misty kind of figures showing up on camera and on camcorder. And, like, you know, we were so surprised we didn't want anyone to know the place, you know, where we was at. So we called it our mystery location. And we actually called it our mystery location for like 12 episodes. 12 times we went down there. And every time we went down there, we got something kind of amazing, you know. Millimeter, K2 hits, REM pod hits, different types of orb activity, different types of shadows, mist, fog, you know, whatever. And it's always in the same area, the same field. We did try a different field further up. We got nothing up there, nothing at all. But when we went back to the other field, that's when we was getting all that kind of like activity. We didn't get anything like, you know, apparitions, like something like appearing in front of us, moving towards us, like, you know, an apparition of a person, I think. But no, that mist, that fog, what we kept getting on camera, we're seeing faces, we're seeing figures, we're seeing like animals, you know, like dogs, cats, cows, you know, all kind of weird things on photo. Kind of crazy. But we did go back to do Jordan's Wood again 6 months later, I think it was. And again, I didn't think we caught anything on Jordan's Wood the second visit. But just like me, didn't review the video, and I get to hear that voice in my head again saying, review the video, review the video. And we actually went back to the same kind of location, actually, where we caught the first two apparitions. This time we did catch another one, but the first ones we caught, the first two were on me right on the first session, on the first time we went there. On the second time we went there, we caught one on the left in front of us. Now, in as well, but I didn't know until after I posted that clip, after reviewing it and seeing it and cut it out. I posted that on my Facebook. Now, my mate David, you know, who I used to, you know, be friends with and growing up with, you know, at Jordan's Wood, you know, we had ups and downs, you know, kind of like broke our friendship a few times, but always got back together. I did not know, even though I went to his funeral, right? I thought they actually buried him, but apparently they cremated him. So unless they, like, you know, buried him, pulled him up and then cremated him, or I can't remember what they done actually, but I did go to his funeral. But when I posted a clip up on my Facebook, as well as my YouTube, my mate David's son, Dominic, actually sent me an email, well, a Facebook Messenger. He goes, Steve, you're fucking amazing, man. Thank you for that. I said, what do you mean? He goes, that apparition, that figure you caught on camera is your mate David, my father David. And I said, wow, you're joking. I said, how do you know that? He goes, because I can recognise that location. That's where we buried him. I said, yeah, but it's pitch black. He goes, it doesn't matter. I know that location, mate. I know it at the back of my hand. He goes, you caught your mate, my father David, there, and that's who I believe it is. So I wasn't going to, like, you know, doubt the guy. So we did, you know, because we did catch an apparition. So maybe it was David trying to show himself, you know, say, hey, Steve, catch me on camera, I'm here, you know. So in Jordan's Wood, we did capture 3 apparitions on 2 visits. So yeah, Jordan's Wood's pretty cool. I do want to go down there again, but I want to go to a different location. If I can get my nephew to take me there. You know, because I think we sometimes get better activity when there's 2 or 3 of us there, you know, kind of thing. Now, Bexley Hospital, as I say, we went there about 12 times, and, you know, I thought we'd call it, you know, quits for there. Yeah, I thought, you know, let's call it quits here now. No, we've got quite a lot of, you know, activity, evidence, you know, kind of stuff. Let's tell people where we are. So on our last video, we actually told people where we were. And I thought we would have got a lot more people doing videos at either Jordan's Wood or Bexley Hospital, but I've not seen nothing from anyone. And I know that there are people in Kent that does, you know, paranormal, but, you know, I would have thought that Bexley Hospital or Jordan's Wood would have had a bit more, you know, paranormal teams going down here. But it looks like there hasn't, you know. Now, Dartford Heath is near Bexley Hospital. It's at the back of the, well, it's more to the side of Bexley Hospital. We actually went and done Dartford Heath. And a team that's actually had done Dartford Heath and got some kind of activity from it. A bit of, like, evidence, I suppose. But when we went there, we didn't get nothing. Nothing at all. I think we might have had a couple of K2 hits and maybe an EVP, and that was it. But the rest of the time, it was completely dead. You know, we got more activity at Jordan's Wood and Bexley Hospital than we did at Dartfleet, and that's supposed to be very haunted, as people used to say, but we got nothing. I know it's usually like, you know, at the right time, right place, right location, right temperature, you know, how the moon's risen, you know, what the EMF kind of like feels around is supposed to be like. But we never got anything there. We went there twice and didn't get nothing. I do hear like stories that are like, you know, like there's a bus stop in between Bexley Hospital and Dartford where a lady apparently got knocked over. So we went in there before we went to Dartford the second time. So we could get anything, but we didn't get nothing on the road. Because apparently a lady's supposed to be seen walking along the road after midnight, between midnight and 1 o'clock or something like that. And, you know, a lot of people have seen her, but we didn't see nothing. So I think it's all down to, like, you know, the conditions, I suppose, the temperature, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But they're the main best ones we caught. The other place we did was Dartford Dartford Cemetery, where my uncle and cousin are buried. My cousin died before. No, actually, I can't remember who died before. I don't know if it was my uncle who died first, then my cousin, or if it was my cousin, then my uncle. But they're actually both buried on top of each other in the same grave. And my nan's supposed to be buried over there as well. Now, the first time we went there was a cold, wet, icy, snowy night. And I braved it because I actually had a broken leg at the time. And I broke my leg over at South Norwood Cemetery, which ain't too far from here. But I braved it and I went out in the icy cold snow. And we went there. We found my uncle and cousin's headstone. And, you know, we got some K2 hits on it. We believe we might have caught one of the two of their voices. I'm not sure. Yeah, we've got both of them. I can't remember, to be honest, but I know we got some EVPs there. And one of my nephews, again, I can't remember what one it was, and, you know, these trees further in front of us. So we're trying to call out, you know, to this kind of like dark shadow to come closer to us. But it didn't, you know, it kind of like stayed back away from us, you know, kind of thing. But we did get some really interesting, like, misty kind of figures, because we even tried to debunk it, right? None of us smoked, right? But because it's so cold where we were standing, when you blew the air out, the air would go that way to your left, right? And we continued going to the left, because we debunked it. But what we saw was like figures, misty kind of figures coming from the left, going to the right of us, you know. We actually caught that on camera. And we couldn't think, hang on a minute, that ain't one of you breathing, is it? You know, no, they're both behind me to my right, you know. So we're saying, well, hang on, but let's all breathe and see what way our cold breath goes. And all the time it went that way to the left. Whatever it was coming from our left going to the right. So it's going the opposite way. So we did catch some kind of like interesting misty figures kind of thing. No, we had K2 hits and a few other bits and pieces, but we didn't get any kind of like apparitions or anything. It's more misty kind of figures than anything else. And it seemed like every time we stood there, you know, the temperature would kind of like rapidly drop. As soon as we stopped doing what we was doing, if we moved on, the temperature would kind of like raise a little, even though it's like freezing cold and like, you know, snow on the ground. You know, the temperature would keep dropping and rising kind of thing, which was really weird. So every time we stopped to do an EVP or take some photos, you know, the temperature would drop. I don't know, it's because, like, you know, when you start moving around, you know, you start building up the temperature in your body. It could have been that, actually, but we did catch a few interesting things there, which weren't too bad. But the main best ones, as I say, is Jordan's Wood, with the 2 apparitions there, and Puckley Village, actually. We've had some interesting stuff over at Mitcham Common with me and Simon. Towards the end of a session, I was doing a prayer. Simon had a ghost box on. And just before I was ending the prayer, Simon goes, "How does one end a prayer?" And you heard the ghost box voice come over, more musically, kind of saying, "Amen," kind of thing, you know. And I was just about going to say "Amen" when he went, "Amen." You know, we were fucking like, "Did you hear that?" "Yeah, I heard that," you know. Mind blowing, because like, what is the possibility that a spirit box would say "Amen" when I was just about going to close down a prayer to help any spirits move on at that same particular time? Mitcham Common is known for like a lot of suicidal deaths or accidental deaths. Like, you know, little Leonard, he died there about 100 years ago, roughly. And we've always had like activity with little Leonard there, but I think he's crossed over now. He's moved on with his mum. You know, he did come here for a while, actually. I don't know if he comes and visits time to time, but if he does, it doesn't really make himself known, to be honest with you, you know. Abby will tell me, like, if he comes and visits, if she tells me that he's here, I'll just say, "Hello, Leonard, how you doing, mate?" You know, just, you know, talk to him just like, you know, an adult would to a kid, I suppose. But yeah, we caught a lot of good stuff over Mitcham Common. No apparitions, but, you know, EVP wise, Simon had a laser grid up, and the laser grid actually got interacted with. You know, the actual laser beam got broken, which we caught on camera. You know, we've got EVPs, K2 meters, ghost boxes, and, you know, kind of crazy stuff like that. And I don't really hear many people doing like Mitcham Common either, you know, kind of thing. Same with Wimbledon Common. Wimbledon Common is known for a lot of murders over there, you know. And I think the best time we got there was, I can't remember what her name was. There was a lady who got killed there, who was walking through there with her little boy one day. It was quite a known story. Rachel, that's her name. And we was asking if Rachel could call her name out, and we got her name 3 times within 5 minutes. And, you know, her name came through different kind of like pitching. One is like, "Rachel." Then when we asked again, he went, "Rachel." Then a third one, I went, "Rachel." Like more of a long kind of groan. But yeah, that was fucking amazing. That was, because we got her name 3 times within 5 minutes. That was crazy. And that same night, we thought we heard the sound of the Headless Horseman. Apparently, there's supposed to be like a spirit that runs or rides through Wimbledon Common between the hours of 1 and 3 o'clock, or whatever time it is now. And you would hear a horse gallop. And me and Aaron was there doing an investigation. I think it was after we got Rachel's name, but we didn't know that until we actually like reviewed the recordings when we got home. But it must have been no more than 5-10 minutes after we got those EVPs. We heard that sounding like a horse galloping, and it really sounded like distance, and it sounded like it's coming closer and closer and closer. And then suddenly it got so loud, it suddenly stopped. Now, where we were, no more than probably a few hundred meters, there's like a T-junction. Because as you come up, you could either turn left or right. But if you turn right and walked up, I say about 20 meters, you've got like a little track going that way as well. But as we heard, like, it sounds like a horse galloping. And, you know, we had our torches and we actually saw something go past, but our camera didn't catch it. You know, we just saw it with our own eyes. I don't know why the camera didn't catch it, because, like, you know, the torches weren't that bad. You know, that, you know, we saw something go past, and as we saw it go past, it suddenly stopped. And, like, you know, we thought, well, you know, crazy, you know, that maybe we caught the sound of the headless horseman's horse galloping, you know, kind of thing. And this was, you know, between, I say, 12, 1 o'clock time. And a bit later, after that, we went up to the junction and we turned right and walked down this, like, pathway, dirt path. And we got to the golf course part and was just doing, like, an investigation there. And we saw someone go past us. Well, what the fuck was that? I went, hello. And not a response, you know, not one little response. But what the fuck was that? You could see a figure go past us. Oh, holy shit. Now, I can't remember if we caught that on camera or not, right? But 5 minutes later, or 10 minutes, between 5-10 minutes later, we heard this, like, rustling coming down the pathway again. And, you know, we kind of, like, walked to the path to hope we can see whatever it was. And would you believe it's a fucking female jogging at that time in the morning? And we just said, oh, excuse me, did you just kind of, like, run past here not long ago? She goes, yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Did you ever say hello? She goes, yeah, but, you know, I thought I heard something, but she had, like, headphones on. And, like, she goes, I might have done, I don't know. I just running now. I turned around and I'm coming back. Oh, sorry to scare you, love. And she's like, no, that's all right, you know. But what are you doing out here? We go, oh, we're doing paranormal ghost hunters. And she goes, really? She goes, yeah. She goes, interesting. She goes, my husband's into the paranormal, but not as in, like, ghost hunting, but, you know, like UFOs and eating, stuff like that. Oh, interesting. She goes, sorry, you know, hope we didn't scare you. Something like, you know, bit of a weird kind of do running in it. She goes, well, yeah, like, the thing is, I feel safer to run at night time now because, like, a few years ago, I was actually jogging out on the main kind of roadway and she actually told us that she got attacked. And, like, you know, oh, sorry to hear that. You know, she goes, no, but, you know, I've moved down to here and, like, I feel more safer here on the common at night than where I used to live. And I said, well, you know, don't worry, we ain't going to, you know, harm you or anything. We just, like, doing our stuff. You know, you carry on doing what you want to do and have a good run. And she buggered off. And I can't remember if it's the same night or not, but a bloody police car came along and pulled us over and wondering what the hell we was doing. And we told them. They said, oh, really? You know, you caught anything? We told them about, like, the headless horseman. And we told them about the woman. And he goes, what are you doing out here then? He goes, oh, we're just doing a patrol, but the thing is, we got lost. He goes, you don't know what way it's, you know, to get back out, is it? I said, no, actually, I can't tell. If you go straight down that way and keep going down that way, you'll probably come to, like, a turning, all right? And if you turn left and go down there, until you get, like, to the crossroads and turn left again, there's, like, the windmill and thing like that there. So he goes, right, thanks very much, mate, you know, appreciate that. So me and Aaron, I think it was me and Aaron at that time. I might be confused, it might have been me and Simon actually on another night. But I think it was a different night actually, to be honest. No, it wasn't me and Aaron. I can't remember. Let's say it's me and Aaron anyway. But we actually saw the police car a second time that night because they still couldn't find the way out, even though we told them. I said, well, if you let us, you know, jump in and give us the lift, we'll tell you, you know, probably, like, help you to get out. And I said, no, we can't do that. Not unless, you know, you commit a crime, then we can, like, arrest you. We said, no. So I think they did eventually get out because we never did see them again the second time. But Wimbledon Common is known for a lot of murders. While Wimbledon Common, yeah, that's right. Wimbledon Common is known for a lot of murders, while Mitcham Common is known for suicides and accidental deaths. Now, we've done, me and Aaron, and Simon James as well, but at different times, was me and Aaron had been to one of them big parks in London. Can't remember what it's called now. What's that park? Hyde Park. That's it. We went to Hyde Park. We spent a couple of hours there. And we didn't get hardly anything down there. And we would have thought we would have got a lot, because a lot of people got killed over that way, you know, during World War II, when the old Germans came over and bombed, you know, London. So we would have thought we really did think we would have got a lot over there, but we didn't get hardly any K2 hits or anything like that. So on the way home, we decided that if it ain't too late, we'd head over to Streatham Common, which ain't too far from where I live, actually. It's only a bus ride. And we got off and we went down there. And this was me and Aaron. And we'd done a little bit in the kind of like, it's only like a little small wooded area, but it's creepy, I'll tell you. It's fucking creepy. We got a few K2 hits, but that's mainly about it. So we then walked down this great big long kind of like field pathway, which led down to the actual tennis courts. Now, we was doing a little ghost box and EVP session down there, and we really didn't think we was going to get anything. But as I had my camera facing the fence, we actually saw like a figure. And this figure came through the fence and walked down the actual side of the tennis courts, then walked out the open gate. Now, we can understand it. Why did he not just carry on walking down and round where the gate was? But what he done, it seemed like it came through the fence and then down to the gate and through the gate. Now, maybe there might have been a pathway there, you know, many years ago before they actually built the actual tennis court. But we actually caught that. And it looks like more of a misty kind of figure than anything else. But we actually did capture it. So that was kind of crazy. So that's one. I'm trying to think how many apparitions I've actually caught right now. 3 at Jordan's Wood in total. 1 at Puckley. That's 4. Streatham Common, 5. So we caught like 5 apparitions, live apparitions, while out on investigations. You know, I'm not talking about residential or even here, because if I had to count those, I'm talking about 10, maybe 12 apparitions I've caught in my lifetime. You know, while I've been doing this like 7 years. So I will be doing a little topic on like residential ones later, maybe towards the end of the week or something. But it's surprising what, one can capture. Although we didn't see it with our own eyes, technology, picking up, different spectrum of lights. That's crazy what a camcorder can pick up. Crazy what a camera can pick up. Because over at Garrett Lane Cemetery, I took a photo of like this like kind of little box crypt further like in front of me, and it looked like my camera picked up at least 6 spirit people in that one shot. You got one person kind of like poking his head out behind a tree, down one side of the crypt, another person on the other side of the crypt. You got one person that looked like was kind of like kneeling down, praying at a headstone. Then where the crypt is, where you got the 2 people, kind of like one that side, further on that side, it looks like there's 2 people talking to each other. So they're like 5 or 6 spirit people, and then no one there, just me. So, you know, I've caught some bloody interesting photos as well. I caught one at the cemetery, not far from Garrett Lane, where it's St George's Hospital. There's one right near St George's Hospital, and I caught a black figure of a person, like, and it looked like, because when I first got it, I was kind of like amazed. I didn't know what it was. It was my first kind of like apparition I caught on still camera. And I posted on Facebook asking if anyone could like check it out. And a guy who was into, you know, professional photography, I can't even pronounce it, photography. He looked in. He said, "Well, that looks like to me, taker or one of the guys that used to like look after the cemetery in the Victorian times, because in the Victorian times there used to be a lot of grave robbing. And that looks like one of the guys that used to walk around dressed in like a long black kind of cloak and a kind of a, it looked like one of those kind of like triangle hats, but it's not. It's like if you ever watch WWE wrestling, no, is one of those kind of hats. So that's the first kind of ever apparition I caught on camera, and that, you know, I still got it. It's still on my Facebook. It's on my G+. I've still got it on my computer somewhere. But yeah, I've caught some amazing photos as well. It's like, you know, the better ones are like moving ones, like full-blown apparitions moving, you know. But even photography wise, you know, a still photo, you know, it's crazy. Like I caught one in Kenny's house when we did that home residential, which I'll tell you about another time. You know, that was kind of crazy. Little Dexter, which I believe I brought home with me because he knew he was going to have to be moved on, kicked out of the house. But, you know, I've enjoyed doing, you know, the paranormal. It's been kind of amazing catching, you know, some of the stuff I have caught. No, I know I said that, you know, it's not fame and fortune, but I wish someone come up to me and said, like, you know, let's do a TV program on you, you know, let's show some of this activity, let's say, show some of this evidence you caught. That'd be kind of crazy. You know, I've probably got some real, you know, compelling, real pure evidence that some of these fucking TV shows have out there, you know. This is like, it's not fame and fortune, but if a fucking TV presenter come up to me and said, I want to do a ghost show on you, you know, like my house is haunted or my haunted home or something, and said, right, you know, we watched your videos, you know, could we do a video on you, you know, interview you, take some of your video footage, put that into an actual program, I'll say, yeah, no fucking, I won't fucking reject it, no way. I don't think that'll ever happen, actually. But anyway, I've actually got my amplifier up and running. I'm not going to do one now, but I just want you to listen to how I've got my ghost box sorted out. Got to turn my amp on. I'm not going to do one right now. I'm just going to like let you listen to it for like 2 minutes, and I'm going to stop it. Hello? Hello? Do I have any imps here? So, can you say imp? Yes? Is there imps? Oh, I think I just said imps then. Say imps if I have imps. Say imps. Or demons. Black? I was just talking about the black apparition. So I can actually muck around with pedals as well. So I've got it set up to my 2 pedals. Hello? Fascinated, are you? How fascinated are you? Monkey? You're harmless. Harmless or harmless? What message have you got? If I have imps, can you say imp? Say imp if I have an imp. Or say no. Say no if I don't have imps. What? Yes? I don't know. Imp.
It's faith.
I need faith, do I? So that's how it's set up. Thank you. Good night. So I'm going to be running that Tuesday. So it's set up to my amplifier and my pedals. And I'm going to be like mucking around adjusting the contrast, like the buttons every so often. See if we get any different kind of like tones or pitches or whatever. So that comes through. I'm just going to say hello to everyone, and then I'm going to probably end this for the night. I need to do some stuff in the morning. I need to get up and go and do some shopping. There. And actually just finished the Infinity Box in Caldenera. I wasn't using Infinity Box, I was using Afterlife. Right, so hello, Butt Kisses, who's still there, Explorer. Spy Car, Ian, Mary, Eugenia, Blaze. So yeah, that's all I'm going to do tonight. I just wanted to do a little topic on like some of the best encounters I've had, which is more outside residential, outside non-residential. And I find that, you don't always have to get, some of this amazing stuff, whether in your house or someone else's house, residential, castle, hotel, whatever. Don't forget, we're in 21st century now, 2018. How many people died over the last 2,000 plus years? How many died within the last 10,000 years, We're going to get spiritual people that may have not even crossed over and still in like an unknown parallel universe, or probably stuck in limbo, from somewhere. And don't forget, even though that I call this apparitions over at Jordan's Wood, we don't know what's actually underneath the ground. It could be like granite, limestone. Maybe we was catching something there that's being caught there indefinite. That can be played back at any time, depending on the conditions, I suppose. And if it ain't limestone and granite, then maybe they're spirits that have been trapped there for indefinite time, space, or whatever. We just don't know really. So You know, how about the Stretton one? You know, walking through the tennis court. You know, why would we catch someone like that? You know, kind of thing. I don't think it's limestone or granite there. But I do feel that there's the possibility that you'd get more captured evidence, you know, whether it be an EVP or apparitions or orb activity or light anomalies or shadows or whatever outside than you do inside, you know. You don't get, you know, outside is a big open space. No, not saying that you're going to get nothing in, you know, your own home or residential or hotel, castle, whatever, you know, kind of thing. You're still going to get things around those, I suppose, you know, if they've died there or they died in that location and property's been built on top of them. You know, there's probably, God knows how many graveyards have probably been like built on, and maybe the graves have never been like dug up and replaced. So, you know, I see that. I reckon every inch of this planet, you know, apart from the sea, I suppose, is probably like covered with spiritual energy. Now, I'm not saying the sea isn't like haunted. You know, there's probably like hauntings on the sea. People saying haunted boats, and some people say that they've seen apparitions of people walking in the sea and all that kind of crap. Well, ain't crap, but you know, there's more dead people than there are living people, I suppose, and we just don't know how many spiritual people we could actually interact with in our lifetime, I suppose. You know, even the people who are not into the paranormal may have like 10, 20 spirits in their house and they wouldn't even know it. Anyway, I'm going to go. It's 2:00, so I'll probably catch you on Tuesday if I'm well enough. I am feeling a bit better, actually. You know, I'm feeling a bit more kind of like energetic, I suppose, because I have been sleeping a lot more. You know, when I wake up in the morning, I'll probably go to the bathroom and come back and lay back on the bed and go back to sleep again, you know. And sometimes I don't wake up till about 2, 3, 4 o'clock sometimes, you know. Depends on how tired I am and what time I go to bed. So if I go to bed at 5 in the morning, I sometimes might not get up till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It really depends on if anyone disturbs me, like, you know, the doorbell, you know, the buzzer buzzes, because even earlier today, I got a bloody knock on the door again by Domino's Pizza. Oh, you got your delivery? No, mate, I have not ordered. Are you number one? I said, yeah, but I've not ordered. Well, I got an order here for number one. Well, I've not ordered it. Go away. Goodbye. And I just put the buzzer down. So, you know, I should start saying, yeah, I ordered it and taking it and not paying for it, you know, kind of thing. Because it's beginning to piss me off a bit right now where people keep knocking on my door and saying, I've got a delivery for you. How do I know it ain't a delivery that someone's bought for me, you know, and I'm turning it away? But the thing is, if I take a delivery and I've not paid for it, that's going to be dishonest. But then that's down to the actual pizza place, I suppose, for keep getting my bloody, you know, people's addresses wrong. But I wouldn't like the actual original purchaser who ordered the pizza, you know, having to wait, you know, another hour for their order. So at least I'm being, you know, upfront and honest. I'm saying, look, it ain't for me, go away, you know. Ask number one downstairs, you know, number one, A, B, C, D, check your bloody ticket, you know, who order it. Because every pizza place has to have the phone number of the actual orderer. So if I ordered like a pizza now and they knocked on the wrong door, that person who delivers it has to ring up the pizza parlour so they could ring me up and get my correct address kind of thing, because even some of the people that take orders never write the orders down properly, so they're too bloody lazy to do. But anyway, I'm going to go and I'll probably see you Tuesday, guys. I won't be doing a Halloween one this year, but I will probably do a little bit of Halloween stuff Tuesday. although it's only the 30th. I won't be doing one the 31st. I don't think. I might do one. You know, I might do one with the DVR cameras running overnight or something on Halloween night. I don't know. So it goes. Anyway, I'll catch you all later. Good night. Cheers for popping on. See you later. See you Tuesday maybe. Bye.